And just like Sisyphus rolling that boulder up that hill, we are back at it again for another award-winning edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Happy Wednesday to you. 5th day of June, 2019. I'm Dan Kuntz, your host. Thanks for starting your day off with us. We have a pretty good show for you today. We hope. We'll find out together over the next hour or so. Our friends from the Red Apple Flyers dropped by yesterday morning. We taped our conversation in advance. You're going to hear from Phil Tallman and Jim Baxter. They got a big wingding up there at their campus, their 22-acre campus just past Pangborn Memorial Airport. They're going to be flying those model airplanes and helicopters all over the place on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's a big jamboree. You don't want to miss that. They'll talk about that and all things Red Apple Flyers in the back half of the program, and some pretty incredible footage, too, of these of these planes and helicopters and lions and tigers and bears. Oh, my. Apple Sox got their first league victory of the year in their first league game of the year. We like that. The Mariners continue to be the Mariners in front of a partial sellout at T-Mobile Park. They lost again. We got sports coming your way, plus the obscure holiday birthdays. Today in history, and everyone is entitled to Mike Minotti's opinion. And, of course, we'll get you the latest news and your latest weather forecast right around the corner. But first things first, as we always do to get you going here, let's take you around north central Washington with our Valley View cameras. As you can see, we have a few more clouds this morning than we had yesterday. Cold front's going to start moving into our area today. We're going to only top off about 75 or 76. Excuse me, we hit 81 on Tuesday. We're not going to hit 81 again until we get to the back half of the weekend. It's a very slow-moving cold front. It's going to bring us in some clouds, probably not any rain. And good news for those firefighters who are fighting that Highway 243 fire. Very little wind expected in that area today. That's really good news. We'll have the latest on that fire as well when we get to sports. A lot of the crew were down on the Columbia River early yesterday morning, out and about doing some boating, and they confirmed what I thought, that the Columbia River is very high. Indeed, that's the way it usually is this time of the year. But you remember last year it was higher still. We even had some minor flooding in some locations like Walla Walla Point Park. But that's really not the case this year. We had a very moderate snow melt. But when we're still pretty green, but we're drying out each and every day that we go without rain. The hills and the grass and the sage dry out and dry out and dry out. And that's going to be the case for the next few days anyway. Camera 2, where are we off to, Megan? I don't know. She gets to decide. She says, let's go visit that area. I'm lost. Help me out, Megan. That's what? That's Rude Canyon? Wow, okay. I should have known that. Well, there you go. Oh, it's pointed the other way. No wonder I couldn't figure out where we were. Beautiful Rude Canyon, of course. There's some good little homesteads there. That'd be a pretty place to live, wouldn't it? Very quiet. Very, just nice. It just looks nice. I wish I had horses again. I'd live up Rude Canyon. I don't, and I don't. Good morning to our friends in Rude Canyon. Of course, we are the number 3 rated live local TV show between 7 and 8 a.m. in the greater Rude Canyon area. Camera 3, we are off to, that's Jump Off Ridge. See, that I know. That's pretty basic. The Stimmel Basin dominating your view there, the East Wenatchee Bench. You can almost see the Red Apple Flyers Flying Club from there. Actually, you can, but you got to squint. That's a spectacular view from Jump Off Ridge. Not easy to get to, but once you get there, it's an incredible view, and that's an idea of how green things really still are. But it's not going to stay that way. You can almost make out the cross camera on the backside of Wenatchee Heights, and of course, way off in the distance, the valley proper. And finally, camera 4. We are saying hello and good morning and how are you to the camera located in that general area. That's Cass. Oh, I'm sorry, Megan. Oh, that's the Apple Andes camera. It turned again. Why did you turn? Well, we can turn these. We can move them in and out. We can do the hokey pokey. We can go back and forth and up and down. But that's a new view for me from the Apple Andes camera. Normally we had that pointed right at Kashmir. We could see almost the entire hamlet of Kashmir, but they moved the camera on me, which is fine. They can do that. Keeps me on my toes on this Wednesday. So that's our views from around north central Washington, courtesy of Localtel's Sky-Fi high-speed wireless setup. All of these towers that have these cameras are the Sky-Fi towers, and so that's how that whole system works. You put a little dish up on your house, and they point it at one of the towers, and it sends you the internet. Pretty cool technology. It's a beautiful thing. 5 minutes after the hour, before we take a break, a special thanks to our friends at Confluence Health for sponsoring. Oh, I got to do the weather forecast. How's this show working out so far? Yeah, let's do the weather. There's a cold front. It's coming in. It's on its way. It's going to really get going later on today. So the clouds will be thickening up. It's not a very fast-moving cold front. Could even see a light raindrop this afternoon. Don't think it's really going to happen, but as the day progresses, the clouds will be thickening up. We'll top off at about 76 degrees. Very little wind in the forecast, and I like to say that. Mostly cloudy tonight, 54 for the overnight low, but no rain in the forecast. Thursday, sunny but cool. Look at that, 69. Our normal high for this time of the year is 77, so we're going to cool down quite a bit with this cool air coming in. Thursday night, clear, 50 for the overnight low. A little windy at times. Winds out of the west, about 6 to 10 miles an hour. Windiest day is going to be Friday. Lots of sunshine Friday. High of only 68, so outdoor graduation at Wenatchee and Cashmere on Friday night. Going to be a little on the chilly side, but at least it won't be rainy. It's also going to be a little breezy on Friday. Gusts up in 20, 25 miles an hour at times on Friday. The wind should die down once the sun goes down on Friday night. Take a look at the weekend. Saturday, mostly sunny, high near 73. That's just a little bit below normal. Sunday looks fantastic. Sunshine, no wind, high of about 80. And then a gradual warming period going in to next week. Basically, it's typical June weather for around here. Thank you for reminding me to do the weather forecast. Megan, I do this show every day, and I've been doing it for years, and I almost forgot the weather forecast. How does that happen? Did I mention Confluence Health? Let's mention Confluence Health. We love Confluence Health. They're dedicated to providing safe, high-quality care for everybody in North Central Washington. Thank you very much, Confluence Health, for sponsoring this program. Going to take a 1-minute break. When we come back, we got your Wednesday morning news. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, I hope still, on the NCW Life channel.
When the people you serve are your friends and family, you see the world a bit differently. You understand that your survival depends on the health and strength of your relationships. Your word is your reputation, and that doing the right thing is the only way of life that matters. At Confluence Health, we remain humble. Trust is a gift that is earned, a privilege, an honor. And we remain grateful for the trust you place in our hands.
Hi, I'm Jim Heinlein, agent here at Senior Insurances of North Central Washington, where we help our clients navigate the Medicare world. One of the things we really enjoy doing is teaching our clients about their rights. Like, did you know that if you have a traditional Medicare supplement, you can change that monthly all year long, regardless of prior health conditions? So if you'd like to know more about your options with Medicare, you can visit us at one of our 5 local offices, as well as give us a call at 888-2600.
Welcome back. High clouds, 55 degrees. Clouds will be thickening up as the day progresses. Mid-70s for a high today. We'll only see highs in the upper 60s for Thursday and Friday as this cold front comes in. Then we warm back up again to very pleasant conditions on Saturday and Sunday. And we'll be right back up into the early 90s, as a matter of fact, by the time we wrap up the weekend. Here's what's making headlines on this Wednesday. I'll give you the latest update on the Highway 243 fire. We have a map that was provided to us to give you an idea of where the fire is and the direction it is heading. The orange area is some of the older burns, and as you see, as it's moving to the east, that's where the dark red comes in to your picture there, and that is the direction of the fire and the intensity of the fire in any one location. The command center, as you can see, is highlighted with that little red flame. It's still a little over 5,000 acres as of this morning. Level 3 evacuations, they're still in place for the town of Smyrna. That's about 25 residences are on a level 3 evacuations. No homes have been destroyed so far, but some outbuildings have been destroyed. It's burning in sage and dry grass. There's no reports of any injuries. Yesterday morning, the Washington State Type 3 management team took over the command. They're doing a briefing now as we speak. We'll have more on this fire, by the way, throughout the course of the day and also tonight on the evening news. Again, no reports of any injuries. And the forecast today is favorable for aggressive firefighting with very little wind in the forecast for that area today. In other news, a report of a vehicle fire near Tenasket on Monday ended with a suspect being shot by an Okanagan County Sheriff's Sergeant and deputy. 37-year-old Larry R. Bowers was treated for gunshot injuries. He was airlifted to Central Washington Hospital in Wenatchee, taken to jail, and then transferred up to the Okanagan County Jail. According to the Sheriff's Office, about 7 o'clock Monday night, fire crews responded to a burning car near the Aenis Valley store. Firefighters then found a body inside the trunk. Witnesses reported seeing Bowers leaving the car fire earlier. He was located near the store. The sheriff's office said he was armed with a firearm and was shot when he did not comply with orders to drop the weapon. The North Central Washington Special Investigations Unit is in charge of investigating this incident. Well, another round of public power benefit projects have been tentatively approved by the Chelan County PUD Board of Commissioners. Our very own senior news correspondent Steve Hare filed this report.
The plans include extending the Apple Capitol Loop Trail to the new PUD Service Center at Old Station, also securing Art on the Avenue sculptures in PUD parks, and acquiring a 3-year package of day-use state parking passes. Officials say about $1.5 million still available from this year's $4 million allocation. So far, 4 projects have been undertaken, according to Felicity Saberhagen, the district's service business manager.
Over 2,900 fiber premises have been passed with 800 new connections. In our parks program, we've issued over 7,000 day-use park passes since 2015. And our Hydro Research Institute is now fully independent and has a patent pending in application form. And our charging stations, we have had over 2,000 charges over the 4 locations with 5 different charging stations in them.
Other multi-year projects include renovations at Rocky Reach Discovery Center, jobs and work readiness initiatives, and the Haran Natural Area rehabilitation. Saberhagen said staff would be back this summer with more information, including results from strategic planning surveys and better developed cost estimates for the possible new 2019 projects. Now, the Public Power Benefit Program was started 5 years ago when commissioners decided that after all the PUD bills are paid each year, some of the remaining funds could be used for projects that enhance the quality of life in Chelan County. Steve Hare, NCW Life News.
Thank you very much, Steve. We appreciate it. According to the Washington State Employment Security Department, April's 5.5% unemployment rate in the Wenatchee Metropolitan Statistical Area was up 0.5 of a point compared to April of last year. The local monthly unemployment rate, by the way, has now risen for the past 5 months. Obviously, they're keeping a close eye on that number. A positive note in the report shows year-over-year monthly civilian labor force growth rates have been fairly robust in the Wenatchee MSA, which indicates that workers are still entering the labor force in Chelan and Douglas counties. Well, if you've been putting off burning your yard waste, it's too late now. Burn bans went into effect June 1st in Douglas and Grant counties, and they begin today in Chelan County. Now, the bans do not include recreational burns like campfires and fire pits, though if it's dry and hot and windy, those could be banned as well. The burn bans typically run through September. Already this year, yard and orchard burns have gotten out of control and caused several fires in North Central Washington, as you see there. Chelan Fire and Rescue has added a brand new rescue boat for its life-saving efforts on Lake Chelan. It's a 2003 25-foot safe boat Defender. It was purchased through government surplus. It had been used by the Coast Guard. The district purchased the boat using only $2,500 from its budget and $3,000 from the sale of its old boat. A Honda 225 horsepower engine was purchased by the Firefighters Association for the brand new boat on Sunday. Rescue personnel held successful sea trials for the vessel. The district is still seeking grant funds to equip the boat with a water gun and other equipment. Well, Washington's new sanctuary state law forbids local officials from helping federal agents enforce some immigration laws. But some law enforcement officials complain the new law prevents police from working with immigration and customs enforcement agents in preventing criminal activity by people who are in this country illegally. Chelan County Sheriff Brian Burnett says the new law will not affect his office's working relationship with federal immigration agencies.
Now, if I have information that says, let's take an example of someone that has been arrested, convicted, and deported of crimes. So they were convicted of crimes here in Washington State, and then they were deported because they weren't a legal citizen and they had violated something there. And now they've come back into the state of Washington illegally. If we get information on that, I think we have an obligation to our citizens to say, hey, I have a dangerous, potentially dangerous individual who's proven that they're going to do criminal behavior and put our citizens and our people at risk. Then I think it's our obligation to move forward and work cooperatively with our federal agencies that have those legal and are in those systems to say they can put the things in place and to take hands in their matter to go and investigate that and potentially remove that person and take them back into custody.
Spokane County Sheriff Ozzie Knitovich has already announced this week he's not going to be enforcing the new law. He claims the law is politically motivated by Democrats who oppose the policies of President Trump, and that's what's making headlines at 16 minutes after the hour on this Wednesday. Hey, you got a news tip? Let us know about it. You want to drop us a note and say hi? Let us know about it. Look at the bottom of your screen. That's all the different ways you can get a hold of us. If you go to our website at ncwlife.com, you'll see the Contact Us icon at the upper right-hand corner of your screen. Just click on it, fill out the form, push send, and we get it. If you want to send us an email, that's fantabulous as well. News at ncwlife.com. If you want to pick up the telephone and submit a news tip, that's fantabulous as well. The number is at the bottom of your screen. You can also drop us a line via our Facebook page. We got a lot of likes on our Facebook page. We like it when people like us. The news with Grant Olson at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. Grant in the anchor chair, also handling your weather forecasting duties. Eric Granstrom in the sports chair. It's actually the same chair. 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock right here on television, or as we like to say in the business, TV. You can also watch it on demand at our website at ncwlife.com. And we stream live, by the way, all the time. Yes, we do indeed. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, sports, the obscure holiday. Today in history, birthdays everyone's entitled to Mike McNally's opinion, and Phil Tallman and James Q. Baxter will be dropping by the Red Apple Flyers. The hobbyists who have that little mini airport to fly their planes are going to have a big party this weekend. It's a jamboree. They'll talk about that in the back half of the show. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley live this morning from Studio 37 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Life channel.
I found a doctor that I just really, really like, and his name is Nick Collins. I just like everything about him. He's very thorough, but he's not intrusive at all, so he goes ahead and checks out things that somebody else might just let it go. Just about everything about him.
Lakeshland Mailboxes is a small place with a lot to offer. Job one is shipping and receiving from A to Z. They pack it, they label it, they ship it. But did you know we also offer notary service, online computer access, legal forms, copies, greeting cards, and of course mailboxes, even passport photos. Schland Mailboxes, everything you need in one small package.
Welcome back. 19 minutes after the hour in this Wednesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I'm Dan Kuntz. Let's do sports. The Wenatchee Apple Sox had a few defensive gaffes, but they came back twice, beat Victoria. Yeah, they knocked off the Harbor Cats 7-4 last night at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. Trailing 2-1 in the fourth inning, Wenatchee's Tyler Detloff tied it on an RBI double, and then Brett Gillis gave the Apple Sox the lead on a run-scoring base hit. After Victoria grabbed the lead back in the top of the seventh with 2 runs, the Apple Sox came right back in the bottom half of the seventh with a 2-run base hit by Ryan Altenberger. Apple Sox added a couple more insurance runs in the bottom half of the eighth. Coach Kyle Crustangle says he's very happy to see the offense clicking this early on in the season.
We really felt like going in the summer, we had one of the best offenses, that we felt like we've put together, and 17 runs in 2 games definitely shows that. But like where the guys are at, it's always tough, giving up some of those runs, and we found a way tonight to punch back every single time we got punched. So, no, I like where we're at and got to keep going.
Ponona Pitzer sophomore Ryan Long, he worked 6 innings on the mound to get the victory. He allowed 1 earned run, a couple of hits, 6 strikeouts, said, hey, he felt pretty good.
It's been about a month or so since the season ended, so it was good to get back on the mound, and it felt good today. I had a great time working with Hunter back there. He did a great job with me. My fastball, slider, and curveball are all working pretty well, so it felt good to get back out there, throw 6 innings, and get the season started on a good foot.
Wenatchee and Victoria play game number 2 of their series tonight. First pitch, 6:35. Let's take a look at the Les Schwab West Coast League scoreboard from last night. And there you go. Daniel Cipriano's RBI double. That broke a 3-3 tie in the top of the 8th. Yakima Valley spoiled the opener for the expansion Ridgefield Raptors. They won 4-3. Bend came from behind. They scored a run in the 6th, another in the 8th. They edged Cowlitz. The final was 2-1 there. Kelowna scored twice in the top of the 10th to beat Bellingham at Joe Martin Field, 4-2. Tyler Grissom started the season off hot, 3 for 4. He also scored a run. Brad McVeigh and a couple of relievers held Port Angeles scoreless on a 3-hitter. Portland shut out the lefties, 3-0. And Brandon Wagstaff went 2 for 3 with a couple of RBIs to lead Walla Walla to an 8-2 win over Corvallis at Bordeski Stadium. Justin Foles also hit a solo home run for the Sweets in their season opener. So it's only one game into the West Coast League season. But here's a look at the North Division standings. Yeah, there's Wenatchee on top. Wenatchee's, of course, tied for first with Kelowna and Yakima Valley. Victoria, Bellingham, and Portland are each winless. But hey, a lot of baseball to be played between now and the middle of August. Well, the Mariners' losing streak is now 4 in a row. Seattle lost to Houston 11-4 last night at T-Mobile Park. Daniel Vogelbach gave the Mariners the lead in the 6th on a pinch hit 3-run double, but Brandon Brennan gave the lead right back in the 7th. He allowed 3 runs, 2 hits, 2 walks. Andrew Moore started the game for Seattle. He went 4 2/3. He allowed 4 runs on 6 hits. Manager Scott Service says he's pretty happy with the start.
I thought Andrew gave us a really good effort. He was aggressive, like he always is. His changeup was pretty good, and he pitches up in the zone with a fastball and got a lot of early and count outs to kind of keep things in check there. So, I thought we were in a pretty good spot. Got a big hit from Bogey tonight off the bench, which was huge. We hadn't had one of those in a while, and unfortunately, we weren't able to hold on to the lead after that. The walks and didn't execute there in the 7th inning, and it got us.
Mariners and Astros go out of the game tonight. Good seats still available. First pitch 7:10. Brad Peacock will take on Mike Leake. Let's go back to the Les Schwab scoreboard and take a look at the American League West from yesterday. Texas almost came all the way back. They scored 6 runs in the bottom of the 9th, but it wasn't enough. They lost to Baltimore 12-11. Ramon Laureano's 2-run home run in the 6th was the difference. Oakland topped the Angels 4-2. Houston's lead in the West is now 10 games over Texas, 11 in front of the Athletics, 12.5 in front of Los Angeles. The Mariners slide continues. Seattle now at 25-39, 14 games under 500, 18 games out of first place. By the way, of course, Seattle traded away Jay Bruce on Monday to Philadelphia. Last night against the Padres, Jay Bruce hit 2 home runs, including a grand slam in Philadelphia's 9-6 road win. Boy, it's going to be a long year for you Mariner fans. And those are just some of the games that people are playing on this Wednesday. It is the first Wednesday of June, and the first Wednesday of June is always National Running Day. There you go. National Running Day. Celebrate the joy of running. People all over the United States, people all over the world will participate in running events, or if you're a runner, you're going to run a little bit more, or if you used to run and you don't anymore, you could reignite your passion for running. I have here the history of running. It's really long, so I'm not going to give it to you. I have fun facts about running. Runners who run between 12 to 19 miles a week have stronger immune systems. But runners who run over 50 miles a week are more likely to develop respiratory illnesses. One study showed that runners have 30% more sex than non-runners. You use over 200 muscles just to take a step when you run, and over 1 billion running shoes are sold annually. around the world. So there are a lot of options to celebrate National Running Day. If you ever see me running down the street, that means somebody is chasing me. Happy National Running Day. I won't be participating. I apologize for that. 25 minutes after the hour. Today in history, June 5th, 1961, 51 years ago today. He had just won the California primary. Democratic Senator Robert Francis Kennedy, 42 years old, from New York. And at the Ambassador Hotel in Los Angeles, he gave a speech. He was walking through the back kitchen. He was shot, including in the head, mortally, by Sirhan, and he died the next day. Happened on this date 51 years ago. 43 years ago today, for the folks in Idaho, they'll never forget this. The Teton Dam collapsed. It collapsed. 14 people were killed, $1 billion in damage. 3 towns were simply wiped right off the map. Sugar City, Salem, Hibbard, and Rexburg. They don't exist anymore. Pretty much any farm or agricultural entity along the river just gone altogether. 5 of the 14 deaths, by the way, were in the town of Wilford. It just collapsed. Dams aren't supposed to do that. Happened on this day, June 5th, 1976. And June 5th, 1981. Take a look at that. The Morbidity and Mortality Weekly Report from the Center for Disease Control and Prevention issued its weekly report, and they said something's going on in LA. There are 5 people in Los Angeles who have a rare form of pneumonia that we've never seen before. They have a very weak immune system. It turned out, they didn't know it at the time, but it was the first recognized cases of AIDS. It was made public on the state 38 years ago. Let's do some birthdays, shall we, on this June 5th. Robert Kraft, there's Robert. He's 78 years old today. Of course, he owns the New England Patriots, the New England Revolution. He owns Gillette Stadium. That's where they play. His company is worth a lot of money, and it's not just sports. He's got paper concerns and all kinds of different things. His net worth, by the way, is $6.6 billion. So as businessmen go, he's doing pretty good. Of course, right now he's in trouble with local authorities in Florida from an alleged incident last February. Robert Kraft is 78 years old. Kenny G is 63. Of course, he's a Seattle native. Kenny G. He was all the rage. By the way, his real name is Kenneth Bruce Gorlick. I think Kenny G is much better for him. Sold a lot of records in the 80s and early 90s. Doesn't work much anymore. Do you know why he doesn't work anymore? You're going to like this. He was a early and heavy investor in Starbucks. Smart move, Kenny G, and he's also an outstanding golfer. He's got a plus .06 handicap. Considered one of the best celebrity golfers out there. When you got nothing to do with all that money and you live on a country club, you're going to play a lot of golf. Happy 63rd birthday, Kenny G. I want to play golf with that guy one of these days. Mark Wahlberg celebrates birthday today. He's 48 years old today. Started out as a model, went into acting, producing, rapping. You remember when he was a rapper? By the way, 2 years ago, he was the highest paid actor in the world. He ain't no more. Mark Wahlberg. He is 48 years old today. We are going to take a break just in the nick of time at the bottom of the hour, so grab yourself a cup of coffee, come right on back. You'll find out what's on Mike Magnotti's mind, because everybody is entitled to Mike Magnotti's opinion. And then my conversation with Phil Tallman and Jim Baxter. We're going to go fly some model airplanes and helicopters and cool stuff this weekend at the Red Apple Flyers Club up past Pangborn. That jamboree, the topic of conversation when we come back. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley Wednesday edition on the NCW Life channel.
It's estimated that 1/3 of Americans do not have a financial plan. At D.A. Davidson, their advisors are working to change that because they understand the importance of planning for the future. At D.A. Davidson, they believe in partnering together to build a strategy tailored to your needs. They spend the time and have the knowledge to help keep your financial future on track. Let D.A. Davidson Financial Advisors of Wenatchee put the strength of advice to work for you.
I'm Lehman Williams, General Manager of Crown Furniture, and I'm inviting you to take advantage of our spring closeout savings event. Save up to 45% off store-wide. Since 1963, Crown Furniture has taken great pride in providing unsurpassed quality, comfort, and selection. So if you're looking to fill that first-time apartment, or you want that built-in America quality with your own custom flair, stop by today and see us at 736 South Wenatchee Avenue, across from Stan's.
The Cottage Inn has been a Wenatchee Valley landmark since 1940, making it one of the longest-running locally owned restaurants around. And it's better than ever. Steak, seafood, and their famous homemade desserts for dinner, wonderful lunch items, and breakfast on Sundays, all made from scratch and at an affordable price. It's no wonder the Cottage Inn has been so popular for over 75 years. Enjoy a fabulous meal today at the Cottage Inn on Easy Street in Old Station. Arctic Refrigeration and Heating has been serving North Central Washington for 34 years. Arctic provides the finest heating and cooling air quality products for residential and commercial customers, along with prompt and professional customer service. Arctic also offers specialty services like custom sheet metal fabrication of ductwork, coil cleaning, as well as planned fall and spring maintenance for the overall well-being of your system. Arctic is available for emergency calls 24/7. Call Arctic Refrigeration and Heating for your heating and cooling needs.
At Harvest Valley Pest Control, we know you are committed to making your home and business a healthy and pest-free place. Hi, I'm David. Give us a call and we'll give you a firm price over the phone and schedule a time that works for you. We will do an in-depth 30-point healthy home or business inspection and craft a customized plan of action designed specifically for your pest issue. Give us a call or visit our website today.
Hey everyone, Fletcher and Amy Ellington here from Live It Up. In the investment world, ROI stands for Return on Investment. Well, how does better health, better wealth, and better relationships sound for ROI? Join us every week right here on NCW Life and learn how to invest in the most important asset, you.
We're going to answer your questions and provide some weekly inspiration so you can create a life that you love. Join us on Live It Up.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnati, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, I used to say I love to travel, but recently, after a trip to Taiwan to see my son, I realized I hate to travel. Now, look, I do love being other places, but that's different than traveling. Being other places means new food, new experiences, new cultures to experience and get used to, and new stuff to see and learn about. Now, hey, I do love that. But travel means getting there, and that means long lines at airports, those TSA guys requiring me to submit the extra personal searches of my person, security people stealing my toothpaste because the tube is larger than 3 ounces. And travel means trying to be comfortable in the torture chambers that airlines call economy class. Oh yeah, I love to be places. I just hate the traveling part. Now, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnati, and that's my opinion.
Hi everyone, this is Brent Crowder. After 13 years with the Town Auto Group, I have returned home to Town Toyota where it all started. If you're in the market for a new or used vehicle, let me help you find the right one at the right price. Toyota is reliable and trustworthy, and you can count on me to be the same. When it comes to buying your next car, you can't go wrong with Toyota and Crowder. Ask for Brent at Town Toyota or call me now at 888-5000.
With 15,000 square feet to explore, you'll find something special at the Antique Mall at Cashmere. For the do-it-yourselfers and those with a keen eye for making something old fresh and new again, the Antique Mall at Cashmere is the place to come find your next project. From the coin enthusiasts to avid collectors, Antique Mall at Cashmere has treasures in every corner. Come find your treasure today. Antique Mall at Cashmere's friendly staff is here to help. Stop on by today.
Where will you be a year from now? You could be working as a medical assistant. The Charter College Medical Assistant Certificate Program gets you work ready in 10 months. Add 5 more months to earn an associate degree. We prepare you with hands-on training and support you after graduation with job search help and interview skills. Institutionally accredited by the Accrediting Bureau of Health Education Schools, Charter has been training healthcare professionals for more than 30 years. Charter College. We work to get you to work.
If you're stuck trying to find the perfect beer for you, look no further than Badger Mountain Brewing. We specialize in creating tantalizing craft beers that will soothe any picky taste buds and will satisfy your cravings. Check out everything from our amazing honey blonde that will appease even the most finicky taster, or a delicious frothy stout for dark beer lovers. Experience them all at Badger Mountain Brewing.
And welcome back to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I'm Dan Kuntz. What are you doing this weekend? I recommend you drive way up Grant Road to the Red Apple Flyers Club. It's an interesting group of individuals. You're going to get to meet those folks in just a little bit and see some really cool people do some really cool things. I can't even explain it correctly without letting these two gentlemen do the honors for me. To my far left is the man who left Alcoa solely to write his best-selling book, Why I Left Alcoa, my good friend James Q. Baxter. And to my immediate left, making his appearance on this show, is Phil Tallman from beautiful Medical Lake, Washington, where I need to be sent every once in a while. I need to have the bolts tightened in my neck. It's a personal thing. We don't get into it. Before we talk about the Red Apple Flyers, and there's a huge event this weekend, a little something about yourselves. Jim, I know all about you, but give a little for our viewers out there, our television family. Jim Baxter 101.
You know, just the short introduction, Jim Baxter 101. I have the hobby shop here in town until an unfortunate event, it burned to the ground. Now I just play out at the Red Apple Flyer Field. I'm the secretary for the club, and we are looking forward to a huge event this weekend.
I'm glad you're the secretary, not the treasurer, because you can't balance a checkbook for the lives of you.
No, I would have been gone a long time ago.
Phil, when you're not hanging around with Jim being punished, what do you do?
I work for Schweitzer Engineering Labs in the office in Spokane Valley. I've been doing model airplanes since I was 10 years old, I think, and just really enjoy that. So I do maybe as much modeling as I do working anymore. So.
Well, Jim used to be a model,
yeah,
of course.
He used to, yes.
Plus size.
Plus size.
Plus size.
Really plus size. Jim Baxter, the Red Apple Flyers, tell us about your club. Why is it so cool? Why should people be involved?
You know, I have said for a long time that the club is the nicest radio control field in the nation. And on the way here this morning, I was corrected. There are a couple in the area, well, in the U.S., that are nicer fields, but certainly among the best. It is a country club if you like to play with airplanes, and nicest in the nation.
And we have
one of.
We have video proof of that. Megan, go ahead and throw that first video up if you don't mind. This Jim supplied me this video. This is over to the Apple Blossom Weekend. This is your club. This is your big event. These are the Red Apple Flyers doing their thing.
Address is 5201 4th Street Southeast.
Okay.
It's about 2.3 miles past Pangbourne Airport. The event is this weekend, June 7th, 8th, and 9th. The field has a 600-foot paved runway and a 700-foot grass runway.
Well, that's pretty cool. So you guys need a pretty sizable chunk of land to make this work then.
About 22 acres is
big.
what the property is.
Okay. And the club owns the property, or do you lease it out, or?
We lease it from Waste Management.
Okay.
I think it's $1 a year.
Oh, that's not bad.
No, it's expensive.
Yeah. Is it expensive?
Yeah, $1 a year.
$1 a year. Well, you're a $1 a year man anyway. So, Phil, you've flown at this club, right?
Many times. It is my favorite field to come to. I have a motorhome. I come and camp, and I've spent week vacation there because it's just so great to come out, and you know your flying field is 40 feet away from your bedroom, and it's just great. I love it.
Pictured on the screen right now is Chester Moore. He is one of the inaugural members that put this club together. Flying his that looks like a J3 Cub.
It's a third scale.
How did you guys find each other, Jim? How did this club come to be? I mean, you're all hobbyists, and all of a sudden you realize, hey, we got enough folks in this town to actually make it a club.
Way before my time, back in the 60s, there were a group of people that were flying in the parks. They got together, bought a piece of property, and the rest is history.
Just like that.
Yep.
Is this an expensive hobby to get into?
Not particularly.
Phil, is this an expensive hobby to get into? I don't believe Jim.
Well, I used to have a hobby shop.
That's true. It's cheaper for you.
It's kind of like any hobby. You can
Yeah.
spend as much as you want, but no,
Okay.
you can get into it relatively reasonably,
Mm-hmm.
and just give it a try. There's a lot of models now available that are easy to fly, easy to own, and you can see whether you like it or not. But from that point, then there is no limit. So
What is it about this sport? And I'm going to say it's a sport as much as it is a hobby, because there's competition. You guys are trying to beat each other. There's competition this weekend. We're going to talk about what is it about flying these model airplanes that you get that certain
that's
Jones.
easy. That's an easy answer question. Do you remember when you stood on the ground as a wee child and saw a bird in the air and thought, wow, I would really like to do that? That's what it is about it.
Yeah. Do you got young folks in your group? Is it? I'm not casting aspersions on your age, Jim, but I'm looking at some of the video that you sent me, and I don't see a lot of kids running around flying these things.
We'd like to have more.
Yeah.
There is one of the things that the group that I represent, the AMA, does is try to support education and youth and bring them into knowing what the hobby is and what model aviation is all about.
Maybe with drones being such a popular hobby nowadays, it might make that transition to that.
That has been the fastest growing part of AMA. Once drones became available and the gazillion of those that are being sold, AMA is seeking out drone pilots to become members of the organization.
Okay.
And they will be on full display this weekend.
Megan, why don't you go ahead and throw up another video? This is, again, they have a big event every Apple Blossom. It's a competition. Here's a video of it. Looks like you had a lot of people, Jim, up there on the big weekend of Apple Blossom.
We can get as many as 30 or 40 pilots that come in and fly these incredible scale aircraft, and a pretty good turnout. What we're expecting this weekend just dwarfs that. I mean, this is a national jamboree, and we are expecting a lot of people to show up.
Phil, what exactly is a jamboree when you folks get together?
Well, it is just a gathering of all aspects of the hobby. Usually out here at Red Apple Flyers, it's just radio control. But there are a lot of other aspects to the hobby. There are people that fly free flight, people that fly control line, a lot of different radio control. And this is a point where they can all come together. We're going to have demonstrations for everything. We'll have a little bit of everything that we can go on. And people can talk and meet each other. There's some vendors that are going to be out there to help show what's available in the hobby. All of the vendors are scheduled to do demonstrations with what they bring. So it's just a big get-together. The members that come will be able to fly too. So there's open flying time, and they'll be able to show what they brought and what they like. So it's just a big jamboree, I guess is the right word for it.
What's on the screen now?
Go ahead, Jim.
That is a turbine-powered helicopter. And you talk about the price range in the hobby. You can have a flying aircraft for $150.
Right.
That one books out at about $30,000.
Ooh, okay. Obviously, one of the reasons that you need 22 acres to fly on, because if you're into this hobby and you start into it, you have to go out to a big, safe place where there's a wide open field to even learn how to fly these things, right? So open space and a flat area is what you need.
For the bigger ones.
For the bigger ones.
For the small ones, that would be something that you would be going into the hobby with. That's a football field. There's plenty of room to fly that.
Now, is there this weekend, Phil, is there competition amongst these guys, or is it just everybody gets together and flies?
Not really competition this weekend. It is everybody gets together and flies. Again, vendors are going to show off their stuff. You're liable to see aircraft like was just on the screen. This is a local model here. This is a 40% clip wing Cub. So that's about 140 inches, if I'm remembering right, and weighs 45 pounds. And that is not the big end of what we might see out here this weekend.
That is just fascinating. Flying these things, Jim, are your controllers very receptive to what you want the plane to do?
That's something that you can actually change in the controller itself.
Okay.
You can set the exponential on the controller so that it takes a large stick movement on the controller for a small reaction on the aircraft. Or you can set it up so that it's just super twitchy, that if you just breathe on it, you're rolling the aircraft.
Okay. Do they have controls that have like a yoke, like almost like a traditional aircraft or anything like that, or is it basically like you would see?
It's like
Describe the controller.
It's like you were just demonstrating with your thumb. It's a handheld radio with 2 sticks that maneuver the control surfaces on the aircraft.
Is it hard to get into it? Because I flew a drone once with Jim. He brought a little one into the studio one time, and I was awful with it. I think I hit him in the head.
You did.
Yeah. Do we ever settle that lawsuit?
No,
I can't
it's still
remember.
pending.
It's still pending in any event. So it takes some practice, doesn't it, to really get control of the airplane?
On the airplanes, it takes some practice. I hate to break it to you, but the drones, any idiot can fly. I'm sorry, anybody can fly a drone.
You hear that, Tucker and Uriah? Inside joke there. Yeah, because the drones are basically helicopters. You know, they go up and down and back and forth. But planes, they got to have forward momentum or they just don't make it, right?
That is true.
Yeah. And I guess it's probably something else that it makes the hobby interesting is that you get to fly, you're flying an airplane, but the whole scenario of you make die isn't part of the deal now.
But you what? You make what?
That you might die. You don't have to worry about that part.
It's very unlikely.
Yeah.
Do you remember when you hit me in the head with the drone? There is that potential. And when one of those 40%ers comes at you at 100 knots.
That's true.
Yeah, there's injuries.
Outside of your outstanding facility and your campus, how did the Red Apple Flyers get to host this big event for District 11?
Well, I'll turn that over to the...
We were looking for a venue that could support such an event, and Red Apple Flyers graciously stepped up and said, we'll give it a try there. There isn't, like I said, this is really one of the best fields that's in, at least in the district, and I agree with Jim. It's one of the best in the country, and we're finding even with this, we may end up a little cramped.
Yeah.
So, this is a tough venue to meet with all the different types of flying we want to support, but we're going to do the best we can with this field, and it is a gorgeous field. So.
Yeah, tell me about your campus. It looks like you have RV hookups and stuff like that. What exactly, you have the 22 acres. What's on those 22 acres besides the 2 landing strips?
We have hookup for 26 motorhomes with power and water. Dry camping, we can probably fit, I'm thinking maybe 30 or 40 dry camp sites in. Parking for 100 vehicles. So we're going to be stretched to the limit for this weekend. We've got space outside the field that we're going to use for parking and for some of the trailers that are bringing the aircraft. It's really worth making the drive out because it's just an incredibly beautiful facility.
For the complete novice who's looking at these videos and listening to Phil and Jim talk, but for the complete novice, what should they absolutely not miss this weekend? If they say, I'm curious, I want to check it out. Any time to drop by, or is there certain programs that is going to get you a little more into it?
We're going to do noon times on all 3 days. We're going to have an air show that is put on by the members flying what they brought. So that would be good. You're liable to see a lot of different things. It's going to be like 10-minute acts, so things will move quite quick. They could see that. The vendor demos, they're also going to be about 10-minute limited. You might see some really exciting things there. We have a Hall of Fame presentation, an AMA Hall of Fame presentation at 3 o'clock on Saturday. And this gentleman did a lot of work with gliders. Okay. So there's going to be a lot of gliders going on. They're going to launch with what's called a high start, a big rubber band and a string that pulls it up into the air. And they'll probably launch also using another airplane to tow them. I think there's going to be a lot going on all the time. It's going to be hard to really pick the best time to be there.
It sounds, and I'm going to go out on a limb here, it sounds like it's kind of a party. Is that about the best way to put it? Is that acceptable to you, Jim?
Party?
Yeah.
No, this is a demonstration of some of truly some of the finest craftsmen that are building some of the most incredible aircraft. You ask which part of it most interesting. For me, it's the scale portion. When you take a builder like Phil that has an airplane that's a longtime favorite, whether it's a a Corsair or a Mustang or P-38 Lightning, whatever your favorite aircraft was as a child, and then you build that aircraft to scale. It's pretty incredible. But it's not just that. Like Phil was saying, there's going to be drones and gliders and scale aircraft and jets, and it's just a big weekend.
Can just any idiot like me say, can I try and fly something? Not like one of Phil's things that he spent thousands of hours building, and I don't want to fly that right in the ground, but will they have just a basic model that you can just see if you're any good at it, or is that? No, okay.
No, that's not this weekend.
Okay.
That's any other weekend you come out to the
Well,
field.
let's talk about that. I mean, if people say, can I just come up to Red Apple Flyers and take a run at it? Do I have to bring my own equipment? Do you have rentals? How does that work?
No rentals,
Okay.
but we do have a club aircraft.
Okay.
And if you arrange with one of the instructors, you can come out and have a go at it and see whether it's something that catches your fancy or not.
Do you get certified like a drone pilot is? You know, some of these commercial drone pilots are licensed by the FAA. Is that anything like that in this group?
In the turbine aircraft, you
Okay.
get certified. But in the other aircraft, you get signed off by an instructor that says, yes, you can make the basic maneuvers, yes, you are operating it safely, and come and play on our field.
Okay. That's fair enough. Well, you know, and you're close to Pangborn. Pangborn obviously knows this is going on, right?
Yes. We're within the footprint of Pangborn, and they do know what's going on.
So but that's not an issue. I mean, do you have to you can't fly when planes are taking off or landing up there? Or is
No.
that not a problem?
No.
You're far enough out of the way?
Yes.
So, it is the 7th, 8th, and 9th. How much does this cost?
Oh, let me tell you that.
Please, Jim.
It's free to the public.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Free's a good price.
It's something that I'm certain you can afford.
even on my salary.
You have a salary.
Even on my salary. Do we miss anything, Jim? I have a feeling that we
Let me look
miss
at my cheat sheet here. Oh, we did miss one thing that's
Okay.
pretty cool. There are a lot of vendors that are going to be out there that are going to have their goods that you can buy.
Okay.
But wait, there's there's more. They're bringing things to offer for a raffle. And so there is going to be just a ginormous raffle where you buy, not what they are, $5 for a ticket or however many tickets you get. But they're just incredible prizes that they're literally thousands of dollars worth of donations that if you buy a raffle ticket and your number's drawn, you go away with one of these $900 kits. Pretty incredible raffle.
Phil, what's funner, flying them or building them?
They're both fun to me.
Yeah.
I enjoy both. And summertime is flying, wintertime is building.
Building. But you have to be really good to build. I mean, you got to be precise, right? You're building something that there's no margin of error on these things. Not only are they aesthetically pleasing, but they got to fly.
Yes, that's true.
You know, when we had the hobby shop, we had the room in the back that was the build room. And there were people back there, building all the time, working on one specific airplane.
Yeah.
And so at night when they were all gone, I would go back there with a stick and I would cut this stick off and I would just glue it arbitrarily somewhere. They would come in the next day and it was like, yeah.
I think I know why it burned down now, Jim. I think I might be onto something here.
Sabotage.
Call the authorities. Phil, sorry you have to hang around with Jim for 3 days. Nobody should have to be
It's a
punished
big
like
field.
that.
It's
It is a big field. He can probably go on. Jim Baxter, I love you. You know that.
I love you
Goofy
too,
guy.
brother.
It is this weekend. Pop on up. The admission is free. The hours on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Let's get
Probably 8:30 till dusk.
that in. Okay. All 3 days.
Sunday will probably start winding down 2 o'clock. Folks will be wanting to get back to where they came from.
And the weather's going to be perfect. My guess is you guys don't want any wind, and that's not in the forecast at all. Fridays looks great. Saturday and Sunday look really good. A perfect day to fly.
Great.
Super.
So there you go.
Make it happen.
I'd like to deliver. Well, I just report on the weather. I don't create the weather. We all know who creates the weather. Grant Olson. You're watching Wake Up. Good luck with the trial, Jim. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel. We'll be right back.
My name is Brian Thorpe. I own Global Car Care in Wenatchee and have been here for about 25 years.
Brian started Global Car Care as Brian's automotive alternative on Orondo Street.
Some customers were following Brian since Brian's automotive time.
No, we're just grateful to be part of this community. This is where I grew up, we want to do our part to be a valuable part of this community. We want to thank you for trusting our business for 25 years.
Hi, I'm Cordell Schroeder, owner of East Wenatchee Mobile Storage.
If you're thinking about making a move anytime soon, check out the East Wenatchee Mini Storage brand new mobile storage service. They drop it off at your location, you pack it, and they pick it up and store it in their protected warehouse at East Wenatchee for as long as you need. When you're ready, they'll drop it off at your new home or office. East Wenatchee Mini Storage is excited to offer this brand new service to our region.
Call 509-884-8643 or find us on the web at ewministorage.com.
The best pizza in the known universe is right here in downtown Chelan, so come on up. For the best locally crafted beer and barbecue in Chelan, come on up.
For the best down-home scratch country cooking in north central Washington, you'll find it in Manson. Come on up.
Come on up. Come on up.
Come on up.
Welcome back. We're here live from Studio 42 in downtown Wenatchee on this Wednesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Before we do the weather forecast, I just got a text from Jim Baxter. He wants Grant Olson's autograph. Before we get to the weather forecast, a friendly programming reminder. It is graduation season, and they are going to be commencing to exercise all over north central Washington. We'll be carrying 4 of them live, and then with multiple repeats throughout the course of the month of June. We'll start out on this Friday, 6 o'clock, live at the Town Toyota Center for the Eastmont High School's 61st commencement exercises. We will air it commercial free. Thank you very much to our sponsors. As soon as that ends, which would be just right around 8 o'clock or so, we will immediately go live to Lieboftel Field at the Apple Bowl for the 115th commencement exercises for Wenatchee High School as the class of 2019 take their diplomas at Lieboftel Field at the Apple Bowl. So basically between Eastmont and Wenatchee this Friday, June 7th, we're going to be going about a little over 4 hours of commercial-free coverage. So let the folks know who can't make it to either of those graduation ceremonies. You can watch it live right here on the NCW Live channel. We'll also be streaming it on our Facebook page and on our website at ncwlife.com. Very proud to do that. That's this week. Then next Thursday, June 13th, we will be live once again for the West Side High School commencement exercises. That will take place at the Wenatchee Convention Center's main ballroom. We'll be carrying that live as well. That is next Thursday, the 13th. And then on Friday, the 14th, we are back at Lieboftel Field at the Apple Bowl, and we will televise live, again, commercial-free, the commencement exercises for Wenatchee Valley College. And thank you to all of our sponsors. We got 13, 14 of them, I believe, to help us underwrite the costs of having to put all of this together for you so you folks can enjoy the commencement exercises. And best of luck to the class of 2019. All right, now let's do that for the forecast. There is a cold front. It's paying us a visit, so even though we have a few high clouds, as you can see right now, they're going to be thickening up as the day progresses. By mid-afternoon, it will be mostly cloudy, high of about 76. Very little wind today, and that's really good for those crews who are fighting the Highway 243 fire. They're not going to be dealing with a lot of wind today, nor will we. Cloudy tonight, 54 for the overnight low. This cold front that's moving in is kind of taking its sweet time. It's pretty slow moving, so we're going to have some cool air coming in. Look at Thursday, only about 69. That's about 10 degrees below normal. Cooler still Friday. Lots of sunshine. I have about 68 on Friday. A little breezy at times on Friday morning. By Friday afternoon and Friday evening for outdoor commencement exercises, the winds should be dying down. It's going to be chilly, though, Friday night. Pleasant weekend Saturday as another high-pressure ridge begins to assert itself. Lots of sunshine, mild temperatures, high of about 73. We'll get up to 80 on Sunday. And by Tuesday of next week, right back where we were last weekend. in the lower 90s. Everybody have a great Wednesday, provided the show isn't canceled. I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.